Trauma Chat Podcast, Episode 12. Hi, welcome to Trauma Chat. I'm Laura Reagan, a clinical social worker, consultant, and coach, and the host of another podcast called Therapy Chat. I created Trauma Chat for you. It's for you, me, and all of us. It's for anyone who wants to learn about what trauma is and how it affects us and how to heal. Trauma Chat is brought to you by the Trauma Therapist Network, a website and community to connect people with resources to heal from traumatic experiences. Learn more and sign up for our email list at www.traumatherapistnetwork.com. You'll receive a free gift when you sign up. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for receiving help from a licensed mental health professional. The material in this podcast may be sensitive for many people. If you are listening and the information feels overwhelming, please pause and take good care of yourself before returning to listening. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to Trauma Chat. I'm your host, Laura Reagan, LCSW-C, and I want to thank you for listening to Trauma Chat. If I sound a little funny today, it's because I have some kind of bug that's got me congested, so I might sound a little different, but it's me. So I wanted to thank you for listening and say that I hope you found this show to be helpful so far. Today's episode is the last one for Trauma Chat Season 1. I started Trauma Chat because I felt there was a need for clear and concise information about trauma. It's become such a hot topic lately, which I think is wonderful because knowledge is power. And the more people are talking about it, the more people will find the right help. But while we hear everyone from celebrities and social media influencers to therapists to people sharing about their lived experiences of trauma on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, podcasts, and everywhere else you look, it can be confusing to piece together what they're talking about and how it all fits. A lot of the information that's out there can be contradictory as well. So I wanted to create resources for people who are affected by trauma, so all of us, to learn more and feel empowered to connect with the right help for their needs using brief, concise, clear audio recordings. Trauma Chat was the first part of that effort, and the second part is the Trauma Therapist Network website. When I recorded most of the episodes for Season 1 of Trauma Chat, I was in the process of creating the Trauma Therapist Network site. It's now up and running at www.traumatherapistnetwork.com. If you visit the site today, you'll find a few key things there, but much more info will be added soon. In fact, that's partly what I'll be focusing on between now and October when Season 2 of Trauma Chat goes live. That and running my group practice and creating my other podcasts, Therapy Chat, and being a human. So what you'll find if you visit Trauma Therapist Network now is all episodes of Trauma Chat with transcripts, many recent and past episodes of Therapy Chat with transcripts, and more are being added all the time. Our goal is to have all 293, as of right now, episodes of Therapy Chat loaded onto the site. But there's no quick way to do it, so they just have to be manually loaded. So if you are looking for past episodes, you'll be able to find them there with transcripts, which I think is really great. I've never been able to offer that before and finally have that now. In addition to the podcast episodes, you will also find lists of resources for help with trauma, with more being added, blog articles about trauma with more being added in the weeks and months ahead. I think, and I know I'm biased, but I think the best feature of the site is a listing of therapists who work with trauma that's searchable by location, type of trauma, and methods used in therapy. This is something I have wished existed for years, so I finally created it. The number of therapists listed is steadily growing. So if you go there looking for a trauma therapist in your area and you don't see one, never fear, more are being added daily and weekly. And if you're a trauma therapist and you want to let people know about the particular ways that you work with trauma survivors and whether your work is brief solution focused, cognitive behavioral, expressive arts, EMDR, whatever methods you use, there's somebody out there who needs what you're offering. And this is a great way to let them find you. I want this site to become a trusted resource and a community. Therapists who join the Trauma Therapist Network family will be invited to participate in gatherings, both virtually and in person when that's an option. Another thing that's coming to the website is that we'll be adding information on courses and trainings for individuals who want to learn about trauma and healing from trauma in more depth, as well as courses and trainings for therapists who want to deepen their knowledge about trauma and trauma therapy. And this isn't just things that I'm creating, but connecting you to what other people are creating that is out there, so we can kind of curate in one place so many different sources of information. Thank you all for making Trauma Chat what it is. I'm hearing feedback that people are finding it helpful, and that's what it's for. I'm grateful to all of you who listen, subscribe, leave ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts, and tell people about Trauma Chat. If you would like an opportunity to be a part of the show, here is your chance. Get in touch with me by using the Speakpipe button on the Trauma Chat page of traumatherapistnetwork.com, or by using the contact form on the About page of traumatherapistnetwork.com. I'll put links to both of those in the show notes for this episode. Do you have a resource that should be added to the Trauma Therapist Network site? Or do you have a question you'd like answered on Trauma Chat, or a topic that you'd like me to cover? Let me know by sending a voice message to be included in a future episode if you're okay with that, or by sending a message using the contact form on traumatherapistnetwork.com. Season 2 comes out in October 2021. But until then, you can keep up with all the news about Trauma Chat by signing up to receive emails at traumatherapistnetwork.com, traumatherapistnetwork.com/podcast-category/trauma-chat-podcast, or just use the link in the show notes that I will give you that will go directly to that page. You can also follow us on Instagram at Trauma Chat Pod. Thanks again for making Trauma Chat what it is. Please keep telling people about it and sharing. Between now and when season 2 starts, hopefully a lot more people will find it. And as always, couldn't do it without you. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to Trauma Chat today. I hope that you found some information that was helpful. For more information and resources, go to www.traumachatpod.com. If you've liked what you've heard so far, please go to iTunes and leave a rating and review, and subscribe to the podcast for free. By rating and reviewing and subscribing, you let Apple know that you like this show, and then they'll show it to more people. And I really want more people to find it, because I think that trauma is a major problem in our world. And by learning what it is, we can depathologize the symptoms that trauma brings, and people can get started on their path to healing. So thank you for being on this journey with me. And for more information and resources on trauma and healing from trauma, go to www.traumatherapistnetwork.com. Trauma Therapist Network is a community for therapists and a place for anyone to go to learn more about trauma and find resources and connect with help. www.traumatherapistnetwork.com.